Everybody wants to know, how many day trades per day should you make when you're trading prop firms, when you're trading futures? Patrick, how many trades should I take per day? Well, if I knew exactly how many trades per day that you should take, I would tell you, but there is no perfect answer, right? There is no perfect answer when it comes to knowing exactly how many day trades you should take per day. Now, I do have an idea. I have an idea of what I think is a good number of trades to take per day. And we're going to talk about that here. So, well, let's talk about it. I get this question a lot. A lot of people want to know. They're like, Patrick, like I said, how many trades should I take per day? Well, at the end of the day, it really comes down to, are you, making money? Are you losing when you're overtrading? Are you overtrading? Are you trading within your strategy? And all of that. So the more reasons or the more rules, I would say, like, the more rules that you can create to stop yourself from overtrading certain things, like, hey, I'm not going to trade at 12 a.m., midnight, when I'm up watching Pokemon TV. I'm not going to wake up at 6 a.m. and trade right when I wake up, put a trade on. I'm not going to do this. Like, the more rules, the more reasons you can create this structure to your trading, kind of stopping you from just trading whenever, all willy-nilly. The more that you can do that, the more success you will find, right? If you look at the NASDAQ here on Friday, this is the NASDAQ Friday. You can see, well, what can you see here? Well, you got the 15-minute range. We broke out to the upside there. We squeezed up all the way to the 25,820 area. It's funny because those yellow lines on the chart are levels that we identified on Thursday. So we had a resistance level there at the 720s. On the hourly chart, we had this resistance there at the 820s. We pushed up, we got stuck, and we basically went nowhere. What is funny is I made a video here on YouTube talking about the idea of a Santa Claus rally. And basically, ever since I made that video back there December 1st, we have been kind of rallying. We broke out there on Friday. But again, back to what the point of this video is. The point of this video is, how many trades per day should I take as a day trader? Now, it's funny because everyone's going to have a different idea, right? Everyone's going to have a different strategy. Some people go for a lot of trades. They put on 20 trades a day with like a 5-point target, and they scalp, and they're like in, they're out. And that fits their overall trading strategy. It fits their, personality. I think that's one thing as well. You have to really kind of think about as a day trader, like, what strategy is going to fit your personality, right? Everybody's a little different. Some people like to try to, go and look for reversals. Some people like to trade, the pullback, the breakout, the different setups that there are. There's a lot of different ways to trade. And there really is no perfect way to trade. So that really will dictate how many trades you're taking per day. If you're trading a futures prop firm account, right? If you're trading a futures prop firm account, each prop firm has their own set of rules. They all have kind of criteria to getting a payout. And remember, guys, let's be honest. If you're trading a prop firm, your goal should not be to make as much money as possible. Your goal should be to get payouts. Hey, look at that. I just blew your mind. You don't have to pay me for that info, by the way. It's free right here on YouTube. So think about it like this. If you have a consistency rule, if you've got a profit target, if you've got a max, payout rule, whatever it is, well, that basically tells you that you don't need to go crazy and make 100 trades per day. You don't need to try to make $100,000 in one day. You should just trade consistently. I think that's kind of the overall big idea when it comes to prop firms. If you're going to trade a prop firm, trade consistently. Go for consistency over big profits, because most prop firms, they won't allow you to take a big payout, day one anyway. You're just going to hurt yourself in the long run, especially with the consistency target. If you look here on the PropFirms.com website. That's right. Only PropFirms.com, the latest, the best, the greatest, all those deals. You can head over there and check out all the different deals and all of that fun stuff. So let's look here, PropFirm comparison, and we can compare, things like price-wise and all of that. I think you could do like the different stuff with, if we're looking, let's say like the Lucid account, we can see kind of the program details here. Well, shoot. Little Filipino man got to get on that. They should have a setup here for consistency. Where is it? True cost of funding. No. Oh, yeah. True cost of funding, activation fee. You can see here the different prices, different activation fees, and all that stuff. Some of the breakdown of the different rules with like Tradeify. We do need to go in there and add that stuff. The consistency rule. I'm going to have to talk to my team about the consistency rules and all that based on each prop firm. So onlypropfirms.com. You can check out the different deals that are happening in the space right now and all of that. I swear there was a way to compare. I might just be not looking at it right. Minimum days, true cost, discount code. Yeah, either way, back to the story here. All right, so Tradeify has consistency. Take Profit Trader. It does not have consistency once you're funded. They have the intraday drawdown. You've got the Lucid accounts. Some of them have consistency, so you really need to check out the prop firm that you're trading and understand the rules, right? If you're going to trade different prop firms, you're like, hey, okay, if I make money on this first breakout of the 15-minute range at open, well, okay, look, I go long 2 contracts, I'm up $500. So consistently, how much profit do I normally make, per day based on all that? So I'm thinking like if I can make $500 per day, risking $200, and I do that consistently for a week straight, and then I can request a payout, right? Again, guys, it's all about the payouts. So instead of asking yourself how many trades you should take per day, think about it more from like the mathematical standpoint. Thinking to the sense like, hey, if I take 3 trades per day, I'm risking $100 per trade with a $500 target or a $300 target, whatever it is, based on your overall size of your account, the profit target, the consistency rules. Like you really have to kind of break it all down and be like, okay, I've got a 40% consistency target. And that means if I want to make $1,000, how much profit should I make over a 3 to 4 day period? With a 40% consistency, that's basically saying that I have to trade for 3 days to either pass the eval, to get a payout, whatever that goal is. So if I'm trying to pass the eval and I have a 40% consistency target, well, and I need to make, let's say I need to make $2,000. Well, think about it. I don't want to make more than 40% of my total profits in one day. So there's no reason for me to trade a bunch, right? I don't need to trade. I don't need to go, long, short. I don't, because I have to follow the consistency. So I think the best traders, the people who get the most consistent payouts, and we've heard it from different prop firm CEOs and other traders, other prop firm traders, influencers that have come to the BDH and talked to us about, what their strategy is and all that fun stuff. It's always kind of the same story, right? The same story that like, hey, just trade to get payouts. Just trade to hit your goals, the consistency, the overall, whatever the profit target is. Figure out kind of the math on that. Once you know what your kind of overall plan is, then you're like, okay, for me to make how much money per day, and if I'm risking $100 per trade, how many trades do I need to take? And then also asking yourself like, hey, is it really worth it? Should I really trade all day long? Should I? I mean, I personally don't believe you should. Like I said earlier, creating those rules, creating reasons to not trade is going to help you get more payouts. I know that sounds crazy because you're like, Patrick, I just want to make more money, right? I don't care about none of that. I just want to make more money, more money, more money. I want more money. Well, I understand that. You want more money, but I'm telling you right now, if you truly want to make more money, I would trade less. I know. You're going to be like, what are you talking about? There's no way. There's no way you're going to make more money by trading less. But that's actually the truth. Like I said, taking less trades, the least amount of trades possible to hit your profit target is probably the best bet. Because you're going to have days where the market goes nowhere, right? So continuing to trade when the market's not moving is just going to chop you up. It's going to become frustrating. You're going to go on tilt. You're going to force trades. You're going to try to have this imaginary profit target where you're like, oh man, I got to make at least $500 per day. Well, again, nothing's guaranteed, right? We said like, hey, I'm going to take 3 trades with trying to make $500 and my target and all that. Like if I have all that planned out, there's no way I'm going to mess it up, right? Well, hey, there's plenty of ways to mess it up. But again, I think the moral of the story here, the whole point of this kind of discussion here is that the best traders, I truly believe, they take the least amount of trades, right? If you trade less, you're going to have kind of a less of an emotional roller coaster. There's plenty of people that they put on a trade, they make money, they put on another trade, they make money, they put on another trade, and they lose all the money. They go back to break even on the day, and before you know it, they just keep on trading, and they blow their account. It's the same story. I've heard it a million times. I've done it a million times. We've all done it. We've all been there. So going back to the beginning of this, like, hey, what is the goal here? The goal is to get payouts. The goal is to follow the rules. The goal is to be consistent. If you're just trading every little move in the market, it is very, very difficult to be consistent. I know. Who would have thought? What do you mean? It's easy. No, it's not actually. It's actually hard to be consistent if you're not trading consistently. If you're just trading every little move in the market, you're going to fry your brain. You have to create rules. You have to create some kind of structure where you're like, hey, I'm going to trade from, let's say, 9:45 after the first 15-minute range has been set, and then I'm going to be done trading by 12 o'clock. 12 o'clock is my cutoff. And it's funny because it's always the same story, right? When people blow their accounts, it's never because they're trading when they should. They always blow their account, or I blow my account. This is always like when I do it, right? I trade really well when I should, from like 9:30 till 12. And then what do? I trade at like 2 o'clock. I'm like, oh, I'm going to trade 2 o'clock because I'm bored. Or I'm going to trade at midnight because, well, it'd be fun to make money at midnight, right? When the market's not moving. Or I'm going to trade at 8 p.m. Or even 8 a.m., the pre-market moves. Don't do it. Don't do it. Stick to a very defined kind of structure of when you're going to trade, why you're going to trade, and do it consistently. Do it over and over and over. And I know it doesn't sound fun, right? It doesn't sound fun. You're like, Patrick, I don't want rules. I just want to trade, and I don't ever want to, I just want to keep trading. I don't want to stop. Well, guess what? You're going to end up just blowing your account. You're going to just blowing it because you're trying to overtrade. You're trying to make something happen when there isn't a move happening. And that's the truth, right? That is the truth. Most traders will end up blowing up their accounts trying to trade when there's not actually something to trade. And that's all there is. That's the secret, right? You can buy the mentorships, you can buy the courses, you can buy the books, you can watch every video online, but if you don't create some kind of structure, some kind of rule-based kind of system to be like, I'm not going to trade before 9:45 a.m. I am not going to trade after 12 o'clock. I'm not going to trade in the middle of the night. I'm not going to trade on my phone. I'm not going to just put on a trade just to put on a trade because, well, it's very hard to be consistent when you're not trading with some kind of like consistent rules. And it's funny because basically, coming up with a time to trade and not to trade, like that should be the easiest rule, right? That should be such an easy rule to follow. But honestly, it's hard, right? It's hard to like stop yourself from trading. Most people don't blow their accounts because, like I said, they're following the rules. They blow their accounts because they're just trading randomly. They're just trading like at a random time, at a middle of the day, whatever it is. They just are trading when they should not be trading. And that's when they blow their accounts. So ask yourself, like, do you have some kind of rules when you're wondering, like, how many trades per day should I take? Well, try to basically come up with some like a structured idea that's like, hey, my goal is to make $500 per day based on my overall strategy with the prop firm, with the consistency target, and whatever it is. If I hit that target, I'm done for the day. And then if I, have 4 trades that are all losers and I hit my max loss for the day, I'm also done for the day. So coming up with a max loss, coming up with a rule that like I'm not going to trade this time between this time, I'm only going to focus on the open or whatever it is, like you got to come up with that, and you got to really kind of spend some time thinking about that and kind of really going through the math. If you want $1,000 payout, you got a 40% consistency rule. Well, what do you need to do to get to that point? Like how many trades do you realistically need to take based on your win and your losses? And then also you got to factor in the fact like you're going to have some losses, right? If you enter a trade and you lose $100, well, that means you got to make, now you got to make that money back, which it's fine. You're going to have losers, but you can't just be like, hey, I'm going to take 2 trades a day and they're all going to be winners and I'm going to be rich. You got to like kind of really kind of lay it all out and ask yourself, like where do I struggle? Where do I have issues? Is it because you try to trade early in the morning before the market opens? Is it because you're trying to trade at nighttime? Whatever it is, like it's always there's always like a very clear reason or a clear like thing that you're doing that leads you to blow up. And I think a lot of people just need to sit back and be like, oh, if I just don't trade at 1:00 in the afternoon, I won't blow my account. Okay, I mean, that could be it, right? People all the time are like, man, Patrick, I make money in the morning, but I always lose it in the afternoon. I'm like, well, you just answered your own question, didn't you? You just answered it. You just gave us the answer that everybody wanted to know. Why do you blow your account? Because, well, you try to trade in the middle of the day, you try to trade middle of the night, whatever it is. There's always a very simple answer to why. Ask yourself, why? Why do I blow up when I blow up? Well, there's probably a very clear reason. There it is. How many trades per day should you take? Do the math. Run the math. Run the numbers. Run the numbers. Tune in live, 9 a.m. Eastern, right here on YouTube for more action live with myself and D-Money, Monday through Friday. Peace to the Middle East.